Hello, my dearest INFJ entrepreneurs. Welcome back to another video. And if you're listening to this one on the podcast, welcome back to the podcast. Now, today, we're going to talk about the INFJ fear of being seen mid-process. And this is something I did not know how important it was until I had more and more conversations with you. And especially in a masterclass I was hosting this past Sunday around overcoming the fear of being seen. And let me tell you a little bit of backstory, because in my mind, I can see the fears. I can see, okay, you guys have this fear, and that makes sense. And actually, sometimes they happen. And the whole premise of the masterclass was telling you that it's okay to feel that, and it's okay to overcome those things. But what I didn't realize that some of you, especially if you are an expert, especially if you have something of expertise that you're offering, that when it comes to the fear of being seen, in terms of like showing up more visibly in your own business, posting, talking about what it is that you do, oftentimes the fear isn't so much about the judgment, even though the criticism, even though that's on the surface, is what we think the issue. It's more about this whole idea that you don't want to show yourself mid-process, mid-becoming. And I really contemplated about this whole idea, because the whole premise is that we feel we need to be ready before we can actually put ourselves out there, before we can say, oh, that's what I'm offering, and that's how I'm helping people. And I'm going to create a video series around this topic, and you'll be able to watch this throughout the conversation that we're having today. But the fear isn't so much about, oh, you see me, but then you see me and you're going to have these whole thoughts that, oh, why would I invest with this person when clearly this person is still in their journey of becoming, in their process of becoming. What's interesting to me, and especially if you are an INFJ and we have the perfectionistic tendencies, then we think that, yes, when we are ready, then we can show up. Right? And that's the version of us that actually people would buy into. And the inclination is to learn more, study more, do more, develop yourself more. So then after that, you can show up as an expert and you can help people and you can actually get paid for it. Here's the thing, and I want us to make a distinction between actually curating something of craftsmanship that takes time, like an artist or sculptor sculpting something, or you're using I'm just sculpting the thing, but really I'm just delaying action. And we talked about this inside of the masterclass, like how can you tell if you're delaying action or if you're creating or curating something that is of a masterpiece. And in both scenarios, by the way, I do believe that even if you're crafting something, there should be versions of that are actually not so good, right? A songwriter, they have to write really, really shitty songs before they get to write the good ones, right? That there's that process and evolution that's still there. But I want you to ask yourself, like, am I actually delaying action and just thinking, oh, no, I need to know more? Or I'm actually curating, crafting something. And the difference and the way you can tell this is the thing that I'm building or doing actively touching reality? And let me explain what that means. So what I'm saying is this thing that I'm actually building and doing is touching reality, means that, okay, is there feedback loop? Is there people who actually have interacted with the thing, seen the thing, said, hey, let me tell you, you should refine this part about the thing. Because if what you're doing and crafting is behind the scenes and absolutely no one knows that it's existing, then you are not letting the thing touch reality. Therefore, there are no people who can give you feedback about it. They cannot tell you, hey, you should tweak that or do that or maybe improve that, right? And if the thing that you're doing, curating, touching reality, and you get feedback loop and you're actually battle testing it, you're bringing it to people, I mean, like you're trying the idea out and see how it lands with people, seeing what parts are not landing, like that's a huge distinction actually. And that's how you can tell. Is this, because even when we curate something and there's craftsmanship, even then we ask people like, hey, what do you think? And if you're thinking, no, this is going to be a hidden secret, I won't show it to anyone, then maybe there's some delaying tendencies creeping in and you are saying that I'm just curating it and you are just delaying, really. That's the distinction that you have to make. Now, another thing that I want to talk about is this idea that we need to hide our progress, right? And we need to be ready. And this ties back to the reality of the things that the more you let yourself be seen in the process, the more people can actually find you who need what you have to offer. And everyone, and this is something you might need to remember, everyone at all time is always in their own process of becoming. I've yet to see people, especially when they are accomplished, I've yet to see them say, nope, yes, I'm done growing. This was it. Perfect. I arrived to the destination. Everyone says, nope, I'm still growing. I'm still growing. I'm still growing. Even if on the surface, they look accomplished. They're still, no, I'm on the journey of growth. This is my evolution. And it's okay for me to show those sides of you. And I also want you guys to do this because I think that would really, really help you to understand this. Go and watch your favorite creator on YouTube and scroll back all the way to see where they're coming from. And you will see the first videos they posted were kind of cringy, how they were, I don't know, like, you need to watch those things because the difference between the people who are really good at something and that maybe you look up to them is the fact that they let themselves put that version out there that wasn't perfect. They let themselves be seen in the process and evolution, and they thought to themselves, well, yeah, that sucked. Anyway, the next one is going to be better. The next one is going to be better. The next one is going to be better. And so every time we think we need to hide that, and in the next part, we're going to talk about this more, like, because the fear is also, I'm not going to be looking like an expert, people won't pay for it, and also there is this idealized version of what you think your expertise or 2.0 version should be. And if that's not you, you think, oh, I'm not quite there, so I'm just going to hide under a rock and I'm going to emerge like a phoenix and people will think, oh my God, you're so cool. That's not how it looks like in real life. I want you guys to think about, am I learning the things because I want to be responsible with the people I help? Like the question of responsibility, you don't want to feel like an imposter, you actually want to be an expert at what you're doing, and that's why you're learning so much and not letting yourself be seen. Or you just want to hide that because it's shameful. You think, oh no one would buy into that version of you, and somehow you should suddenly emerge to become this put together person, and that would be the only thing that can exist on the internet of you. So think about that. In the next episode, there are two things. I'm going to do it like a 3-part series. We're going to talk about this question of if they can do it, I can do it. I'll tell you what that means. And also, we're going to talk about imperfection. So I hope this was helpful. And if you're not already a member of the INFJ Entrepreneurs community, link below, you can join us. We have we have monthly virtual hangouts. So I'd love to see your face on one of those. This is free. And thanks so much for being here. And don't forget, courage over fear, progress over perfection.